Persian Datia Nuneres to Malakolsham. That means, literally translated, hello, you beautiful people. I'm still working on my accent. This is not getting any easier. I thought it was kind of simple in the beginning, but yeah. Well, anyway, I've upped my language tutor to twice a week now, and I'm studying an hour every day because it's hard, but I still love it. Anyway, hi, welcome to my channel. If you haven't been here before, I'm leaving in 3.5 months to move to Albania if they'll still have me. As you all know, a lot has been happening in Albania. God love those people. They have taken to the street to keep out foreign investors, mainly the Trumps and Israel, and their country is contemplating a sale of some of their precious lands, and the people aren't having it. And I couldn't be prouder to be a part of that. I can't wait to get over and protest myself. I mean, good for them. And there's only 2.3 million of them, and I swear hundreds of thousands of them have hit the streets. So, sorry, I still have my retainer. I'm sorry I look like this. I'm a little disheveled. I'm dog sitting today and this week at some friend's house, and I promised I would do these videos when I have time, and I have time. So, sorry, it is what it is. I don't edit these videos. I don't care, because you're here for content, not to look at me. So here we go. Lots to talk about, lots to cover. So where do I begin? Look here. Here's where I'll begin. Look what I have. Passports. I finally got them back. Finally. 2 months after they said they'd send them. Of course, they're all expired. I don't even know why they took my used one. It's just ridiculous. But anyway, these pictures in here are quite stunning. I'd show you, but I'm not going to. Yeah, I got them back. So now I can go and get a new one and get out of here. It's just kind of crazy that with all that's going on with ICE and all the horrible things that are happening in this country to people, I never thought that something this outrageous would happen to me. I'm an American citizen. I'm a national. I'm a business owner. My parents were born here, and still, I got on a no-fly list for 14 years. I got harassed unbelievably, and all for naught. I mean, all of a sudden the judge said, "Yep, you're right. Sorry, nothing happened to the organization that pursued me. Nothing happened to them. I didn't get any of my resources back either. I don't know if I told you that last time, but they took everything I had. I worked so hard my entire life, and I really created, I thought, something wonderful for myself, but they took it all. It's gone. So I'm starting over again, like entrepreneurs do often, and I'm going to start over now, though, in a country that I think might appreciate what it is I'm there for and will appreciate what I have to offer, unlike this country, which didn't seem to give a rat's ass. So I'm leaving for a variety of reasons, and one of them is I'm just done. I'm just over it. It has been a long, hard 14 years, and I have tried really, really hard to make my life work, even in spite of the fact that they came at me. They just came at me and kept coming at me and coming at me. And there were times I wanted to give up and thought I might give up. But I was right. I knew I was right. And sometimes you just have to stand up against the man. I mean, let's face it. You just have to say, you know what? You don't get to do this to me. And it nearly took me out, but here I am today, and I'm moving to Albania. And as I said earlier, will they have me? I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be. 5 countries have changed their policies about Americans just in the last month. And so it could, I don't know what the outcome is going to be. I guess my backup plan is Georgia. Georgia is not even a second world country. It's trying to be, it's putting its foot out there, and it's great, but I haven't even attempted to learn the language there. And I, but I can get into the country that way and maybe make my way over to Albania, or maybe I could even go into Greece. But Greece wants a lot more information and a visa process and things. And I'm just ready to go. I don't want to wait any longer than I have to. I'm hoping to head out. My flight tentatively out of Boston is October 13th. It depends on whether my goddaughter ends up coming with me or not, which would be so cool if she did. She's 17, as you know. She'll be 18 when we go. And that would be great. But if she doesn't, then she'll come and meet me later, or whatever she decides to do. I was in Ohio. As you all know, I needed to get there. Most of my life is there. I have a house full of stuff, and I needed to unload it. And I thank you, my darling friends, my childhood friends showed up. My niece, my nephew, my goddaughter. People just kept coming in, and they supported me through it, because I was going to have a meltdown. I had unbelievable amounts of stuff. As you know, I sell vintage online, and I collect art, and I collect sculpture and things like that. Well, I had about a 3,000 piece collection, and I needed to get rid of it. So my niece just said, put an ad in Facebook Marketplace and just say, hey, I have all this stuff, and name a price. And I did. People showed up and they took it. I mean, they were showing up in droves, and it was beautiful because they would stick around to see what else I had, but also to talk. And it was so great because we had this whole little community of people that were showing up to get things, and they'd look some more, and then they'd pick up a couple other things, and they'd want to know where it was from and what it was about. And it was a lovely, lovely vibe. The energy, I needed that energy. I was sucking it up because I was really concerned that I would never be able to. It was a daunting task. So thank you, Tom. Thank you so very much for hosting me and helping me every single day, in spite of the fact that you have just recently overcome a huge tragedy, or trying to overcome. And I'm so grateful to you. And my darling niece, Kate, thank you. And Justy, and Dave, and Marilyn, and Martha Ann. I'm so grateful to all of you for loving me through it, pushing me through it to make sure I can get it done. And it did get done. Unbelievably, it got done in 6 days, which is mind-blowing. So that worked. And if you're thinking about moving to another country, hey, here's a way to make money. Sell all your stuff. Yeah, especially if you have stuff. It's good to have stuff to sell. But that filled the coffers, and now I'm able to go, that's all done. However, when I was moving from my house, the storage unit was closed. It was like 2:30 in the morning, and this is a couple years ago. And I went to my friend's house, and I said, I have this last load of stuff, and it was personal stuff, pretty important things. And I said, can I keep them in your garage until I can come back to get them? And sure, of course. And I should have sent somebody to pick it up and stick it in my storage unit, but I didn't. And apparently my friend had somebody living there who decided those things would be hers and took them when she left. And I was heartbroken. Only because there are things in there that were irreplaceable. And it's my fault. I mean, I left them there. But my parents had made me this gorgeous solid gold pendant with the logo of my very first business on it, and an inscription, and it's irreplaceable. And I loved it so much. And of course, it was in part of that, as was a gorgeous Queen Anne jewelry box that my great uncle made for me when I was a child, and I had all kinds of childhood treasures in it. None of these things could have mattered to her except my Claire Pettibone vintage clothes and stuff. Oh, it's just heartbroken. Anyway, I'm going to pursue it. I am going to go after her for the full extent of the law because that's the kind of girl I am. I'll probably never see any of it again, but I am going to try to manifest a way to get that pendant back. I did, however, in going through the stuff that was in my storage unit, somehow I managed to put my grandmother's pearls. That's the only thing I wanted from the family. I have a thing for pearls. And there they were. They were inside of this stone box that I kept, and I put all of my treasured gemstones together, and there it was. So yay. So that made me very happy. Anyway, just want you to know that it's hard. It's hard. Going through my jewelry to figure out which pieces I'm going to take, and not wanting to take a lot because I don't want to be all showy and elaborate. And I am going to try to live kind of quietly. And I don't know. For those of you who know me, I don't even know if that's possible, but I don't want to be showy. So I'm giving pieces away to my people that I love and or selling them online. And that's tough. That was tough, as is my art. But what's really cool is that, well, not today because I'm not in my house, but I usually have art or something behind me that I'm selling, and you guys have been interested in it and you've been buying it. And so thank you, because I love that these pieces that I have cherished and loved are going to people who I think are going to do the same. So thank you so much for that. And I really, really appreciate it. And so if you see anything that you're interested in, other than that, because that's not mine, then let me know, because I'll make you an excellent deal on it, and you can have it. So that's going beautifully, and all of that is happening. As you also know, I'm going through an official name change and getting my name back to my Scottish original name, and there's a lot that goes into that. But now that I can get my passport, I can just start the whole process from the beginning and reclaim my Scottish heritage and Viking, for those of you who know me, and go forward with that. It's been a long journey with that as well, and we don't need to go into that. So there's a lot that's going into all of this, because once all of that is set, then I can get my bank account. And I'm going to get, to start with, I'm going to get an international account like a Charles Schwab or something like that to put euros in, and the bulk of my money. And then I will get an independent bank in Albania for the Lex. And because they do take euros, but you don't know if they take euros everywhere. So I don't know if they take euros everywhere. So I'll be doing that. And I've already booked the first Airbnb. I think I mentioned to you guys that I think that we're going to stay in Airbnbs in the beginning, because I don't want to be lugging around furniture and pots and pans and things like that. They are more expensive, and they're extremely more expensive than they were a year ago when I first started looking into staying there, because of all the gentrification that the Americans have been causing. And the Albanians are pissed, and I don't blame them. I mean, just like what we've done in many, many places in this country, that I unfortunately have been a part of unknowingly, we are raising the prices of rent for them, and they're finding it hard to live in their own country, and they're not having it. And I don't blame them. So I'm not sure what's happening there. The prices are fluctuating. They're going up. I shouldn't say fluctuating. They're just going up. And I locked in something that is usually half as much. But it's lovely. It has a panoramic view of the entire city of Toronto. I thought it would be a great place for for my goddaughter and I to start. And, just kind of overlook the city and figure out what we want to do. We're going to stay 2 weeks till my birthday, 31st of October, because I'm always moving on my birthday. I have no idea why. And and then we're going to move on. Now, we were supposed to go to Barrett next, which is the city of windows, it's called, because it's just this amazing city with these houses that all have these huge windows that overlook the river. But there is, Korsa is a town that has a pottery factory, and that pottery is getting pretty well known. So I might go there next because I want to find out about their import-export business, if they have one, if they'd like to start one, and see if there's a way I can get those artisans on the map a little bit and help them have better wages than they have right now currently, because if they're selling to an American market, they certainly should make more money. And I can help them do that if they're interested. I don't want to push myself on anybody. You guys know that I start businesses for a living, and I love it. I love it, love it. And I have 100 ideas going into this new country of things that I think I can do to help support them. I don't want to be, oh God, I hope I don't come across as just a pushy American. I really, really want to just help the people be the best they can be and live the best life they can live. And however I can do that, I'm here for it. So I also have, I dusted off the plan that I had for Pompeii, for the animals of Pompeii, and we might have talked about that before. I don't know if we did, but I'm making it into a larger scale because Pompeii is smaller, and of course Albania is larger. But I've narrowed it in. I've put it into 4 quadrants and working it that way. And I'm working on my Albanian for a million reasons. 1, I want to be able to speak to the people. 2, I want to be able to speak to the people I'm working with. And 3, I want to be able to speak to the people in power. I think it's really important that I say it directly to them and not just through a translator, because I want to see if there's land available. What's available to people? What resources do they have that's available to us? And maybe we can go from there. Pompeii, Italy was interested in giving a section of land, and then we were going to raise the funds to build the buildings and things that we need on it. But as you know, that collapsed around COVID. So we'll see. They might not be interested at all. I don't know, but it's worth a shot. So I want to have my information together, so when I do talk to somebody, I know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to be checking out these different quadrants, and so we might change the way that we go around the country. I'm saying we because I'm hoping my goddaughter is with me for some of it anyway, and if not, then I'll do it and just kind of check it all out and see what's available to us. The animal problem is an issue. It is a problem, and the country is concerned because the animals are attacking foreigners. They're people that are coming for vacation or whatever. Although, I don't know how bad that is, but it's just me. I get it. That is a problem. I understand if you're just minding your own business and a pack of dogs come over and one bites you, that's problematic. I also don't know the circumstances around it. We think of dogs as, let me pet your dog and that kind of thing. And there are some dogs that aren't into it, and you'll get bit. So I'd like to rectify that if I can and do it in a humane way. Unlike, sorry, my hair. I should have brushed my hair. Unlike the way they handled the problem at, there was a goat problem at one time, and on the Galapagos Islands, and we got there. I got in touch with them too late, but their solution to an excess goat problem was to take helicopters and shoot them from the air. What the hell? I mean, who was the brain trust that thought that up? So these poor animals are running around frightened out of their mind, getting shot from the air. And they could have just loaded them all on a ship and taken them to the nearest country and, even sold them for meat or something would be more humane than what they were doing. Anyway, I digress. So that's what's happening right now. So this week, I promised my friends I would do this a long, long time ago, and it's kind of bad timing, but they do have a lovely home, and the dog is darling. Where are you? Why are you not up here? He's usually right here. But I have to get back to my house. I have to start. 3.5 months is not much time. And I have a lot of trips between now and the time I leave, and I really need to kind of start putting things together. I'm having a really difficult time figuring out what to take. I just don't want to take I don't want to take anything that much, but so I've eliminated probably 70% of my clothes, and I think I'm going to even get it down to 90%. I'm just not feeling it. And I want to take books, but that's crazy and stupid. I want to take vinyl, but that's crazy and stupid. And so I don't know. It'd be very interesting to see what I end up with. I have to go back and sell I have a big iMac computer and some other computer things I need to sell. I love that thing, but it's completely impractical, and I'm going to trade it in for some sort of notebook or something like that that's easier. I'm going to get rid of this iPhone as well because it's impractical there, and why do I need it? And get whatever the locals are using. So that'll be interesting to see if I can film some content. And so there's a lot of selling going on, not very much buying, although you couldn't tell that from my house. I'm on this vitamin kick to try to really get myself put together, healthy. I've been doing Tai Chi, I've been doing yoga, and it's making a difference, and I can feel it, and it feels good. So, and again, if I have to keep up with the almost 18-year-old, I better have it together. So I'm still incredibly excited. Nothing has changed that. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about the riots that are happening in Tirana. I mean, good for them. I'm not worried about the marching and the protesting. I've been a part of that for years, living in Washington, D.C. That's been a part of my life. So none of that really concerns me as far as me, my safety, all of that. The only concern I have is what kind of limitations are they going to put on Americans now that they're just over us. And so I told my goddaughter to practice her Canadian accent because I'm going to try to push us off as Canadians because they're still well loved. Anyway, I'm rambling. I don't want to do that. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, you new subscribers. I really appreciate you. The content now is a little, me getting ready to go. But when I get there, we'll be talking about folklore mostly because I'm fascinated by creatures. And the Balkans are full of them. And I cannot wait to get into the whole vampire and werewolf aspect of the Balkans because that's where they originate from. And show you the castles and things. So very excited about that. But for now, we're just talking about what it takes to get ready and what my personal problems and issues are with. Most of you won't have the same kind of problems I have with the government. But, what you kind of come up against. And there's a lot that you have to think about. How long do you extend your driver's license? Do you keep your car insurance? Because if you let it go, then the rates just go up and up. But I'm not planning on coming back, so I think I'll just segue into something over there. Same thing with health insurance. I'm looking at there's a couple different plans, and so I'll share with you once I decide which one I'm going to go for. But they are so inexpensive. I mean, $35 to about $70 a month for private care. That is crazy. Seeing that it's $800 a month here. So a lot to think about. I hope you're inspired. I don't know if you're inspired to go somewhere new, but I hope you will consider the prospect of at least looking at other countries. It makes such a difference in your life. To see how other people live. People walk around this country all the time. Oh, America's the greatest. America's the greatest. Well, it's not. It's not. It's far from the greatest. There are some really splendid countries out there who take good care of their people, who take good care of their people's health and finances. And people are so much happier, and they don't work the way we work, and they're not as stressed out as we are. And I mean, look at the Netherlands. They don't have one stray animal, not one. They took all the animals in, they got them all taken care of, the sick ones, they got them all fixed, and now there's no stray animal population. I mean, when you work together like that as a country and you have a common goal, people are about it, that's very humane. And I love the Netherlands. I love living there. I hope one day to go back. But anyway, okay, that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back with you sometime soon. Okay, take care. Bye.